Hey everybody, I have scary hair. I got scary hair, but I'm with the cutie patootie. Oh yeah. Oh hi Bug Rama. Yeah, it's Bug Rama today. She's not Turd Muffin, so she has her. She's being Bug Rama. Yeah, 'cause she's bugging a rug. Yeah. Yeah. And she's just being super sweet today, so she's being a good girl today. So I was gonna do a video, and today it's been kind of hard to have some privacy, but I wanted to kind of talk about she's all girpy. See that look on her face? Hi. Oh yeah, that's hi. She gets all girpy. Oh, girpy is when she has her smile. It's more like a girpy smile because she's happy and she feels loved. Yeah, so she gurping out. That's what I call it. She gurping out. I have a couple of friends that she has gurpy love for. One is Ryan. Every time she sees Ryan, she gets really, her lips and everything, she gets super gurped out. Yeah, she loves some of them. Okay. Anyway, people always ask me about her. She's rarely on the video, but anyway, she's 11. I know, that's pretty good, huh? Yeah, we take good care of her. Yeah. She's my everything. Yeah. Okay, so what? I know. I'm petting you. I know. Okay, so something kind of significant happened today, and I have to try to put a language to it. Because it's kind of complicated. So, when I came into this world, I kind of came aware. I was awake my whole life. And there was some information that I came here with that even when I was little, I was telling people, and my family just accepted it because they were all weird. They came from like healer and shaman and prophet and exorcist, old bloodlines, herbalist. And so, I, was giving prophecy, not like Bible prophecy, but it had a lot to do with, probably was going to be pretty apparent that I was kind of going to lean towards, the whole shamanism side. But, I was prophesizing like the deaths in our family, just a lot of different kinds of stuff. I was just super unusual, but my family was pretty unusual. So there was never really a big stink about it. Just, people in general, in the world really freaked out, kind of had some super freak about me. So the first 5 years of my life, I had one reoccurring dream. Didn't dream about anything else. And was really tortured, kind of, I guess, by it. So in the dream, it's an apocalyptic world, which, Earth, but in an apocalyptic world. There's nothing green left. There's huge piles of dead things, dead snakes, people, just, huge piles of dead things. Nothing left, didn't see any water. Even the sky was not really blue. Everything kind of gave off this red hue. And in the dream, I'm running. and, trying to run through this apocalyptic, landscape. And, I would keep looking back, and there was this giant, like Eiffel Tower, comparatively to me, red cobra snake that was, standing up and, moving rapidly, following me. Nowadays, over the last, 15 years, I realized that in the shaman world, we have what we call allies. And it was kind of also an indication of the medicine, that I was going to be working with in this physical life, which is the snake medicine. So people always ask me, where a lot of this stuff comes from, and it comes from the early stages of my life here. Now I realize the snake was my ally, that it was following me around, it was protecting me. It wasn't trying to scare me. Later on, what would happen is when I went to one of the last ceremonies that I did with Babido, my last native teacher, it was we were at a place and we were doing some energy earth healing ceremony. And at one point in the ceremony, I looked back and there was a Eiffel Tower size, comparative to me, rattlesnake that was very feminine energy. So these snake beings, allies, governing over me, watching over me, protecting me. That doesn't mean that I'm reptilian, nature. But I think, the multi-dimensional aspects of snake. I mean, because we have to think about this. Snake sees everything in energy, like cats, the way that they see the world, more kind of as, heat signatures, energy fields. Snakes digest, take in their experience whole, and then take time to digest it. Look, even in Western medicine, a poisonous snake bite is cured with the actual poison of the snake bite, right? So there are some, native tribes in the United States that practice, especially the Apache, that practice a lot of, ancient, snake medicine rites and rituals, and very few people went through those rites and rituals. It was only those people would be like, the medicine carriers, medicine people. Pretty intense medicine to carry. Because, in our world, people don't want the cure, right? They don't want the miracle. They need to continually be sick in order to stay in their families and in the world and function in the world. I mean, think about how much of it's designed, with welfare systems of disability, disabled. Like, you're only able to get money if you're maimed and damaged, and then you get this label, that you are damaged. And the further damaged you become, the more you don't have to do anything, and the more that you can just sit at home and get a paycheck. So, medicine, that kind of medicine, snake medicine, is I don't think ever really was a big, people set out to find people that practice that kind of medicine. I mean, it's even hard for the practitioner and kind of the living a life of trial by fire, and having, part of your own personal process as a snake medicine carrier is transformation, shedding the old into the new. It's very you have to be vigilant, and it requires tenacity, and it requires, your whole attention. So it's just really not an easy path. And most of the dreams that I've had in my life all have to do with snakes, Yeah, and I don't like physical snakes. I have tried to overcome that fear, but I work really well with them on the other planes, but I do not deal with them at all physically. There is just something that unhinges me about snakes, and I've just never been able to get over that fear of even touching a snake, getting near a snake. Yeah, it's just like I do Kermit the Frog, and then I jump on whatever is available screaming. And I'm not a fragile little thing. I'm tough. I'm badass. Especially, with what I've survived in my life. I'm seriously badass. So, all right. So the snake is following me in the dream. Red cobra snake. And so, over the last 15 years, I've really come to the conclusion that these snake beings are my allies and my protectors, and, they're watching over me. And that's why they come a lot in the dreaming world to help show me what is going to be happening next, kind of giving me, you're on the right path. You're going in the right direction. This is going to happen. This is going on. We're giving you the protection necessary. We're watching out for you over here, kind of a thing. So anyway, in this apocalyptic world, that when I was a kid and I was dreaming about this world, from probably age of 1 to 5. I mean, it was like the first 5 years of my life. It was a dream I had over and over and over. And I think it's because it's very significant today, right now. So one of the things that happened was that, while I'm running through this apocalyptic world, the snake's, following me, I thought it was chasing me when I was a kid. So of course, I kept looking at it and trying to run faster to get around these dead piles, big, huge dead piles of lots of dead stuff. I, thought that the snake had done it. The snake had killed everybody. It was the snake's fault. And I was terrified of the snake, right? So the older I get, 51 now, the more I realized that this snake being was protecting me through what was going on. Now, I want people to know, like right now, that I'm not advocating that we're moving into apocalyptic world. We may be. I don't know. But all I know is that when I have these dreams and these snake dreams, they're very prophetic in a certain context. And sometimes it takes me a while to defragment it and then glue it together into a picture. There's a lot of coded, non-direct information, and I think it's because a lot of these allies that I work with and beings don't always speak English, don't always have a language to sit down and tell you like the whole thing, that it has to really stick into the right hemisphere, which is symbolic, imaginary, present moment, in order for it to hold in you and then be able to unfold it over time. So in this apocalyptic world, when I came around this one pile of dead everything, and I was running and the snake's behind me, my uncle was there. And in the imagery of when he was young, right? He was kind of a hippie, bohemian guy. And when I found him, I was like hugging him and saying, oh my God, oh my God. And we were both like, oh shit, we're the only ones left. We're the only ones left. So he looks up at the snake, he's behind me, and we're running. And the snake's like, following us around. And we're trying to find other survivors. And we're realizing like there's no more survivors. There's no more survivors. And then I wake up. And that is like the end of the dream. So before I go into like the whole significant thing, I want to tell you about a dream. Another such snake dream. And mind you, I just hate physical snakes. There's just no way on God's green earth that I would hold one. And there's no way in God's green earth that I would even be in the same house if there was a snake, in the house, even if it was in a box. I couldn't do it. And I don't, my mom, when she was alive, said that what happened to me when I was a little girl is that, sometimes neighborhood kids would torture me. And one time I got thrown into a chest, a chest like at the end of a bed or, in a kid's room. I was hiding in the chest or something. And then they opened the lid, a whole bunch of kids, and threw all these plastic snakes on me and then shut it, clipped it so that I couldn't get out. And so I couldn't see if the snakes were real, touching them, just the whole experience. So, another shamanic death, right? Buried with snakes. Oh, yeah. So, trial by fire. So I had this dream. This dream was like around, I don't know, I'm going to say this dream was probably around 1999. I had a dream. And I had this dream where I went to a friend of mine's house and she said, hey, I have the snakes for you. You need to take them home. And I'm looking in the box and there's 3 large rattlesnakes. And, they're, and there's 1 small one. So there's 4 rattlesnakes, 3 are large, 1 is small, right? With the beads, and they're in this box, and it's so funny because even in the dream, I thought to myself, if I wasn't dreaming, there's like no way that I would have come to my friend's house to pick up some rattlesnakes. Even in the dream, I was like, yeah, I have no idea. This just would not happen in reality. And in physical reality, this wouldn't even go look at a rattlesnake. It'd have to be so far dead for me to even go take a look at it. So in the dream, she said, okay, well, you need to put the rattlesnakes in something to take them home, which was like, all we could find was this white t-shirt, like a man's brand new, clean. It didn't have, fold marks or anything in it like that. And so what I did was I had to put the snakes, I put the t-shirt onto the floor. We put the 4 rattlesnakes in there, the 3 large ones and the little one. And we literally folded it and bundled it up into a bundle that I could carry like this to get it home. So in my dream, I'm literally walking down the road thinking to myself, if I was physically awake, I would have never touched these rattlesnakes. I would have never put them in a t-shirt and I would never be carrying them because I could feel them moving in the t-shirt while I'm holding it. And so the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, thank God this is a dream because this is insanity. Like this is the most insane thing but I was also like it was like there was part of me that was doing it consciously. Anyway, so yeah, I'm holding on to the snake bundle. I can feel them moving around. And then I get them to this house where I live. And I had this one room that had a blue floor. It was like a concrete floor that we painted blue. And there was a, banana lounger that was laid out. And all I could think was like, I was so tired. So here I am going down in the second attention with the snakes. And now I'm starting to go down into the third attention to the deeper dreaming. And so I'm so tired. What I decided to do is I'm going to shut the doors, 2 doors in the room. But I noticed that one door had a huge crack, and I thought to myself, the snakes are probably going to go under that door and go through the house, and I'm going to have to collect them later. And so I was like, I'm just too tired. I have to put the snakes down, and I have to lay on the banana lounger, and I have to go to sleep. So I'm going down into a deeper level. So I basically put the snakes down on the floor. I let them out of the t-shirt bundle so they can eat or whatever they're going to do. And I lay on the banana lounger, which is not very high off the floor. And I just go to sleep. And then I wake up. So in 2010, I think, I'm walking down this dirt road. I have some friends that are living out in the desert, and I'm kind of staying with them. And so I'm walking down this like long dirt road. And I almost step on a dead, small rattlesnake. And it's, it's been ran over and dried. It still has its little bead on it, but it's totally flat. There's like no juice left. It's as dry. And I thought, I should probably, pick that up, but I'm not going to pick it up with my hands. Because I have shaman gear. I have, boxes of stuff that I collect that normal people probably don't collect, so that I can reuse them to put together medicines